Hello everybody, Colby Thor Productions here, and I'm going to be ranking Season 10. Now I know what you're thinking. Didn't you already rank Season 10 episodes? Yeah, but I felt like I was a bit too nice on it. Because I think before I made the video, I just watched some of Season 15. And I just really... I don't remember if I even watched that much of Season 15. I think I just watched Fiery Flynn. Just remember how bad it was. But, yeah. So I think I was a bit too nice just to see anything that wasn't Sharon Miller. Well, I guess she did help out with the hit era, but some of this wasn't her. So we're just going to be ranking all these. Alright. Because some of my opinions have changed. Alright. First episode. Follow That Flower. I'm putting it in the D tier. I feel like it's kind of weird. Like, James didn't really do anything to Thomas, and yet Thomas is so mad at him. And he just wastes James' time by, gallivanting across the island. And, yeah, it's just dumb. This is a smooth ride to return to Sir Handel. And I'm putting it in B tier. I know a lot of people don't like Sir Handel's The Wise Engine, but this episode, I'd argue, doesn't really feature that much. All it shows is that his parts are old. So, and technically, his basis is an old engine. It's not saying he's, the oldest engine. It's just saying that he's just an old guy. Not saying he's the oldest engine or necessarily mature. He's just saying that, he has trouble clanking sometimes. And they also mentioned Colby Felt, which I thought is really awesome. Thomas and a jet plane, and I'm putting this in C tier. I used to like this for Jeremy, and I still do like Jeremy as a character, but we don't really learn that much about him in this episode. This episode's more about Thomas, and it's kind of weird. Jeremy didn't do anything close to bragging. He just said, as a statement, I can go places you can't. He wasn't, bragging about it, and Thomas just took it the wrong way. I do like the resolution. It was pretty clever. And I do like Jeremy as a character. And Thomas isn't awful in this episode, but he is pretty dumb. Percy and the Carnival? What was it? Percy and the Fun Fair? One of those. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'd say it's a C tier. It's kind of one of those average hit era episodes that, you see, 12 of every season, where, a character... where a big event's happening, but a character has some other work that's boring, and they want to do that work, but then not thinking about their own work, they mess up once, then twice, then thrice, and then they have to fix it. Even though it is repetitive, I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but the green controller is going in A tier. That is an insanely bold claim, I know, but this might be the guiltiest out of all guilty pleasures ever. Is it ridiculous that an engine would be in charge? Yes. Are the plots ridiculous that they just painted James like a bee just because Percy told him to? Yes. Is it funny though? Yes. Toby pulling the express is hilarious to me. Gordon pulling trucks is also pretty funny. And who could forget James' bee paint job, which inspired a lot of merchandise. And we go from an A tier all the way down back to D tier. Duncan drops a clanger. I don't even know why I don't like it. It's a perfectly average episode. Duncan's okay in it. I just don't like it. It's pretty boring. Thomas's Tricky Tree is a bit of a dumb episode. And yeah, it's just Thomas trying to get a tree and stuff, but keeps messing up. Speaking of dumb episodes, what was it called? Toby's Afternoon Off? Yeah, Toby's Afternoon Off. Toby's Afternoon Off might honestly be one of my least favorites of this entire season. So I'm just going to give you a rundown of the plot. Toby wants to have the day off at the farm, because an engine can do that. But he realizes he has his own work. So he tries to pawn it off on his friends, and they say no. because they're busy. And he's just like, oh, I guess they're not my friends anymore. Like, my guy, you were the one trying to avoid your own work just to gallivant to some stupid farm. And then when he finds out they're all helping Henry, he's like, okay, and just does it. It's like, if you were gonna do something the whole time and you were capable of doing that, why didn't you just whatever. But it's good to be Gordon. It's good. See what I did? Whatever. It's good. I'll give it that. Gordon's in character, Henry's in character. That special cold thing is pretty stupid because Henry hasn't had to use that for, 9 seasons. But it's more excusable then than it is in, season 14, because it has been a bit longer then. So, I'll give it a pass. And it has a good story. And there's also an outtake where Henry's back frickin' explodes. I thought that was pretty funny. Is this which way now? Oh, seeing the sights. Oh, there is a which way now. Yeah. This is a bit of a stupid episode, but I wouldn't say actually it's stupid. It's just kind of mid. Like, him leaving behind all the passengers, it's kind of dumb, because it's kind of like Thomas's train, except he actually brought Annie and Clarabelle, but he didn't, leave them, but he straight up forgot to get the passengers on. I just think it's just an okay episode. What is this, Freddy? Fearless Freddy. I've actually turned around on Freddy. I used to think his design was ugly, and, well, yeah, that face ain't doing him any favors. I'm not gonna dock down an episode for the terrible character design. I do sort of like Freddy as a character, because he's just like an old guy trying to be, like he can keep up with the kids, but he obviously can't. He's kind of a pathetic loser. I just think that's funny. Toby's shed sucks. I don't like this episode. Toby not being able to tell Thomas that he doesn't want this shed, he doesn't want this roof or whatever they're trying to do, he doesn't like it that way. Toby has never been that shy. I could see this for, Molly or someone. I could see, Molly doing this, or heck, even Neville, to an extent. But Toby, it just doesn't really make sense. Toby's spoken up before. In one of his first episodes, he called out James. Yeah. Yeah, just speaking of not good episodes, Edward Strikes Out can go right in the bottom of F tier. It genuinely might be the worst episode of this season. Its only competition is probably Thomas's prostitute friend. Oh, we'll get to that, but yeah. Topped Off Thomas. We were just in a slim of bad episodes. Topped Off Thomas is ridiculously stupid. Why would you send an engine to get a hat? I can get their Topham hat could barely walk and probably would just slip on his face. Well, I guess it wasn't CGI Topham hat, but even then, just use your car, or if you want to, it's being blown away. What if it lands on the roads? What's Thomas gonna do then? And Thomas talking to the wind is really stupid. It's just bad. Which way now? I it's just, it's alright, I guess. It's just Rusty with the signs. He sounds like Scruff for some reason. I don't know why, but Scruff wasn't a character yet. Yeah. Just a perfectly okay episode. Which one is this? That big, strong Henry. Is this out of order? I think this is out of order. Is this the US ordering? I don't know which one this is. Oh, I think that's Shooting Star, isn't it? That's Shooting Star. Because it looks like the Shooting Star episode. So I'm just going to rank it like that. Thomas and the Shooting Star is okay. I like all the references to past episodes when Thomas is thinking about what to wish for. He references season 9 with the diesel thing, season 1 with the snowplow, season 7 with the fish. It's just they were having a field day with this, but it's not really that much of an interesting episode. Big Strong Henry is awesome. Awesome. It's amazing. I love Big Strong Henry. We get to see so many different characters. We see Henry, James, Molly. Okay, Molly's kind of like the only character that you wouldn't expect, but I just... Big Strong Henry is just a good episode for Henry, trying to prove his strength after Gordon puts him down. Sticky Toffee Thomas, I have nostalgia for because I think I saw this episode when I was really young. When I was like 7 or something. Yeah. But now looking back, it's kind of stupid. Like, he's trying to get for like the costume contest when he's an engine. Yeah, that's a bit dumb, but I actually do like it. Which Way Now? Which Way Now is a bit dumb on its own. Orphan Peace. D tier. It very well could be F, but there's at least one episode on this list that I know is going to be worse than it, and I don't... and I feel like it isn't as bad, because Rheneas is in character. Skarloey's a wimpy baby who's afraid of the wharf, the place he works at pretty much every day, and it's kind of dumb. But Rheneas is okay. If Rheneas was, like, also scared of it, or was, like, mean and hypocritical or something, then, yeah, sure, it could be an F tier. But even if it was an F tier, it would not be the worst episode, because this frickin' thing exists. How and why does a balloon get attached to a train? Why does Thomas talk to it like it's sentient? What? Snowmans on their own aren't sentient, let alone a balloon. Like, it's dumb, okay? Does he not see, like, the ropes? It's stupid. I don't like it. Yeah. M&M Essential Coaches. This is a weird time period where they started calling them passenger cars instead of coaches. Which I don't understand, but maybe to be more American. I don't know. And Diesel in this episode is awesome. Diesel is actually portrayed as sympathetic. And Emily goes from, like, Lucy from the Peanuts, like she always is in this era, to actually feeling empathy, which I didn't know hit era Emily could actually feel until now. And actually getting something nice for Diesel, for his accomplishment. I think it's sweet. I do appreciate that. I have no clue what this episode, what is it? Thomas and the Colors. So this is the one where Thomas and James rival story. So James got a football team thing. He has to pull them. Thomas really wants to do it. He tries to trick him into giving it to him, but James is an idiot, so he doesn't just give it to him. But yeah, Thomas is kind of stupid for thinking some of his tricks would work. But yeah, I mean, it's alright. Comes to the birthday mail, introduces Rosie to the mix. And fun fact, it's been 20 years since Rosie was introduced to the show. That's crazy. Yeah. Rosie is... There was a bit of a debate if, like, this is supposed to be, like, a freaky girl trying to... Like a second grade girl, like, sort of like a Julie Baker from Flipped sort of scenario, where Thomas just wants to run away from the person. And, like, the girl wants to, like, kiss him or something. Obviously trains can't kiss, but it's like a metaphor for, like, some second grade playground, like Thomas is, like, running away. Or is it, like, a little brother, little sister? But from the length she goes to, I would doubt that's the case. So, I've been talking about that. What about the episode itself? That's fine, I guess. Duncan's Bluff. No questions asked. This is great. Duncan and James is such a funny pairing idea, and it's executed fairly well. Missing trucks. I'll put it in B tier. We're in a bit of a swarm of good episodes right now. Yeah. I mean, like, Rhaenyra is actually in character. Like, he's not a wimpy baby. He's actually trying to do some good. He's trying to do something. He's trying to do some good for his friends. When he sees Scarlet having trouble, he's trying to help everybody. And that ends up being his downfall. I think it's a complicated thing to teach to children. Sometimes your efforts will eventually just work against you. I didn't expect Thomas of all shows to feature that moral, but here we are. Thomas and the Treasure, I think that's the title. Bit of a corny ending, but I won't dock points off for it. It's just a C tier. But James the Second Best is such a good episode, if I'm being honest. It's beautiful. James is in character, Edward's in character, Thomas is in character, everyone's in character. Edward gets to be the poster engine. Of course, that peeves off James, so he just needs to find some way to be recognized, but he ends up crashing into this stupid billboard. And I think the visual's pretty funny. And we end off on C tier. We end off on a C tier. Thomas and Scarlet's big day out is interesting. I do like the idea of Scarlet Railway not having their own work, so it makes sense for him to be transported by standard gauge. I like all the sets. I like all the set designs. And it all looks good. I'll give it that. So yeah, that is my final ranking of season 10.